So today I wanted to experiment with removing dye, over dyeing, kind of want to just play around a bit. Of course I have a ton of silk, so I'm going to of course experiment with silk. This is going to be my control piece, so I'm going to keep that as nice and red for now. Ultimately I do want to try over dyeing it to see what happens. But today I am using this, which is RIT Color Remover. And it's going to be fun to play with because it actually says it's good for everything like wool, cotton, rayon, ramie, but not silk. So I'm going to see what it does to silk. You'll also notice I don't have a huge bolt of it. I just have about a 6-inch length cut off, 6-inch wide, 45-inch length cut off, because I don't want to ruin a huge chunk of silk if this doesn't work. So I have my RIT Color Dye Remover here. I'm going to dump that in. I'm going to finish letting the sink fill up. Smells very special. The instructions are to basically put the fabric in, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and theoretically it will be off-white or white when it's done. Theoretically. We'll see what happens.
Or pink.
Or pink. Might be pink, I don't care. Like I said, the ultimate goal is to experiment with over dyeing and changing the color of what I already have here. So, here's my sink. There's my red. Like nothing's happening. I'm a little disappointed in that. But it does say to let it sit for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes. We'll see what happens. We'll come back in 10 minutes and see if the color has changed at all. There we go. So not even 10 minutes later, and it's already starting to come out there. It's more of an orange now than a red, so that's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of like reverse dyeing here. When I did the indigo dyeing, it went from white to yellow, green to blue pretty fast. And this is just as fast coming out. I honestly thought the water was going to turn pink, but it's not. It's just turning this yellowy color. That's kind of interesting to watch. Have some of the dye remover cooling up underneath there. That's kind of fun. Well, okay then. We're going to let that sit for the recommended 10 minutes. Oh yeah, I mean the dye's coming right out. Cat, stay back. I definitely do not want cats involved in this activity. Alright. Okay. So after the first dip in the color dye removal, it's now yellow. And it used to be this color of red. I mean that's the fabric that I used. I just removed all the red from it. So I'm going to see if a second dip in the color remover is going to remove any more color from this and take it from yellow to more of an off-white. It might work, it might not. We're just going to play around and see what happens. So I've got my super hot water there, and I had the foresight to put on the gloves before I started throwing harsh chemicals in the water. There's the color dye remover. Mix that up and let it dissolve. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's nice and dissolved. I'm going to dip this. Now last time we didn't see any reaction immediately, but then when it went very fast. It went from red to this yellow color. So we're going to give it a minute here in the bath. A couple minutes. See what happens. And if it turns lighter shade, great. If not, then I will be experimenting with over dyeing from this yellow shade. So, let's see what happens.
The cameraman recommends opening a window for good ventilation because this stuff reeks.
Cameraman made a pointed hint. I'll go ahead and do just that. I'm not seeing any immediate change, but again, last time I didn't really see an immediate change either. It just suddenly went from red to yellow.
The water does look like it's picking up a different hue. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but
I also don't know if it's the fabric reflecting off of the steel basin. It might be, so.
It's very hard to say in a steel basin what's going on.
Yeah. I'll just swirl this around a little while longer, see what happens. Truly not seeing any differences. Give it a few more minutes and then I'm just going to call it good and say I'm over dyeing a yellowish color instead. See what happens. I don't know, it looks like it's a little lighter, but again, it might just be because it's wet. If nothing else comes out, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I was just going to over dye it anyways and see what color purple I can get it to be. Don't bark. Don't bark. There's nothing that exciting going on. Nothing so exciting that barking is necessary. I don't know, I'm not seeing any real... Well...
A little bit more came out.
A little bit more, but not enough to make it worth the second dip in the dye bath. I don't... Or color removal bath, I should say. The reverse dye bath. Yeah, it's only been in about 4 minutes, but... That's about what we had before we started. Bubbles is like, it fucking smells. Give me the fresh air outside.
This is why the cameraman suggested opening a window. Even the feline and dog versions of the helpers are like, yeah, no, we need some fresh air, thanks.
Canine. I believe canine was the other species
canine and feline. There you go. Canine and feline. Sorry. It's still early for the cameraman.
Because the cameraman doesn't drink coffee.
The cameraman is drinking coffee today, thank you very much. With extra sugar.
I found more sugar.
Oh.
There's more sugar on the counter there. It just wasn't in the pink bag like you were expecting.
Oh, okay.
But I knew we had more. We probably do need more though. Now we've been at about 5 minutes. I'm literally seeing nothing here.
We just hit 5 minutes on the recorder, so.
I think that is probably as much as we are getting out. So I'm going to call that one good and say 1 dip in the dye bath was plenty to remove all the color you needed to remove. It was worth the experience, or experiment I should say, but yeah, 1 dip will remove as much color as you're going to get out of a RIT dye pack. And now I'm going to wash it again in the machine and then we'll try over dyeing it tomorrow.